Paula Fox said, when you read to a child, when you put a book in a child's hands, you are bringing that child news of an infinitely varied nature of life. You are an awakener. I'm going to share some books for younger ones and then medium and older kids, ones that help with knowledge, help with that understanding, and then also ones that join their imagination, get them sparking their curiosity. That's Not My Books. This is the latest one, That's Not My Narwhal. And it has lots of fun spots for kids to touch and feel. They get that sensory action going on. But the pictures are also outlined, so it's good for little baby eyes right from the start. Then as they get a little bit older, they can start looking for the mouse on every page. They can just enjoy that time snuggling up and reading as you go through these board books together. Also, when they're teeny tiny, these are perfect for tummy time. And they have different parts, so there's flaps and they're cloth so they can get beaten up or chewed on. Kids are all about experiencing things. There's also the mirror part, so when they're laying on their belly, they can just look right into that mirror and learn more about themselves. So these ones are perfect for just starting out and introducing more about reading and that enjoyable life. For toddler age, these ones are for learning about different places, these matching games. There's a book in each that tells about the different things that they will see in the games. And then there's bugs, dinosaurs, and under the sea so far. There are these thick cards that they can match up. You can play a memory game or you can do bingo, 4 different cards. And then you can match up those under the sea animals onto there and then learn more about them in that book. Also, around that age, they love the reactions that they get. You learn about consequences of choices. And this one is, if you tickle the lion, certain things will happen. And there's lots of different animals throughout here. And at the end, there's a big old dance party that happens when you tickle the animals. And there's also an on-off switch on the back. More into the elementary age, some great books for learning. We have the Peek Inside books that lift the flaps and peek through pages, germs and bees and the moon and stars. There's just a whole bunch. The Children's Encyclopedia has lots of different information, and it's small, bite-sized chunks so they can read a little bit or a lot. And these are the ones my kids just lay down on their bellies and just devour the pages. There's so much to learn in them. Fairy tales for little children, and it has a whole bunch of different stories in this one and just gorgeous illustrations. Some great books for joining imaginations and snuggling up together and bonding. We have one about sharing and how it doesn't always look the same for everybody. One about when a bear gets a little tired of being the main star of the show. Class picture all the different animals and what they go through to get that. Animals that do yoga. This one right here is one of my family's favorite. It's all about this beast that finds dinner. This little boy, he names him Dinner. And then he has all of these animals, other monsters that he writes invitations to, and he has requests from them of what they want to experience at this big beast feast. And as he goes along, he becomes closer to Dinner. They become friends, and then the whole outcome of the story changes. Children that are a little bit scared of the dark or the things that are happening in the dark, he finds this book that tells him all these neat things about what monsters don't like minty breath, teddy bears, or other cuddlies. They really shy away from gentle music and kisses from parents. So there's all these great things to help kids that are a little bit afraid of the dark. Martha Paravon says, it still just takes one child, one book, and one reader to create a unique space to work this everyday magic. Some great learning books for older kids, The Amazing Discoveries of 100 Brilliant Scientists. This talks about the definition of brilliance. It goes through a whole lot of different types of scientists and discoveries and explorations. Build your own websites, a fold-out dinosaur timeline, just whatever interests that your kids have. I recommend grabbing books that teach about that they can learn and spend time just diving into and learning even more. These are books that interest and respect kids, and we get to be awakeners, helping them bring that knowledge and imagination to life. One more great book for awakening is this Lift the Flap Biology. Tons of information, lots of color, and just given in bite-sized chunks here so kids can learn all about how life works, the world of plants, all the animals. There's just a lot to discover in one book. Gladys Hunt said, if families don't read books together, how do they know each other's friends? This is one of my very favorite friends, Anne in Anne of Green Gables. She's so spunky, and she has a great vocabulary and a great understanding of life and the world around her. This is the original text, so you get the original story with beautiful illustrations. More great friends appear in Shakespeare throughout these stories together. There are also books for complete Jane Austen and Dickens. And at the beginning of each of them, it has a little synopsis. It shows the characters and what the main story is about. And then any of these quotations, those are the words from the actual play. And then just lots to discover, because it does have all of his works in this one book. And then also all about Shakespeare, a biography in the back. So it's just a full, complete work that's just a great resource to have in your home. These are books that interest and respect kids and help us awaken that knowledge and imagination in them.